Now, the countdown is on because in just a few hours' time, 16-year-old Luke Littler will try to complete one of the greatest fairy tales in sporting history. Littler will take on Luke Humphries in the final of the PDC World Darts Championship. It's a huge night for the two players, but it's also going to be a massive night for the man I'm going to speak to now, because Russ Bray will be the referee. It's his final match before he retires. I'm delighted to say that the voice of darts joins me now. It's absolute delight, Russ, to have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on. My kids love your voice. They just find it so entertaining, so wonderful. Look, what a mouth-watering prospect we've got tonight. Two Lukes, head-to-head. Not the first time they played each other, but the 16-year-old sensation is coming from nowhere to play the world number one. What a night we have ahead of us.
Yeah, you're not kidding. It's an absolute belter. It's for the punters, it's a dream final, isn't it? You know, you've got the young pretender at 16 against the world number one. It conjures up every aspect of joy within the sport, you know. And as I say, young Luke Littler, he's been a sensation. He's been a sensation a little bit before that, to be fair. And so what he's done, when you know, to the general crowd, it's you know, quite amazing and unexpected. But from us guys in there, we know that he's more than capable of doing a lot of damage.
I wanted to ask you about that, Russ, because you're like one of the closest people up there, right by the board, looking at Luke the Nuke when he's playing. He's blown people away with how cool and calm he's been. I mean, he's playing against some of his idols, legends of the game, getting messages from Gary Neville, his sporting icons at Man U. Yet this kid's just taken it all completely in his stride, Russ.
He has. His maturity is fantastic. You know, I mean, he's the way he plays the game, his mindset, it's fantastic. It's so lovely to watch. It's a breath of fresh air. And, you know, he's the future of darts, obviously. You know, you had Michael Van Gerwen at 17 in 9 darters and things like that. You know, this kid's a year younger, doing every bit the same. It's fantastic for the sport.
And you know what, Russ? People have been taking the mickey a bit because he's been called the Tiger Woods of darts, but I reckon there's a fair comparison there. Like, he started when he was 5 and he just endlessly practiced, repetition, chasing excellence. And it takes thousands and thousands and thousands of man-hours to get to this standard of darts.
Exactly that, Martin. You've hit the nail on the head. You know, I said in the previous interview that I've done, you know, you get freaks within the sport, and I mean freaks in the loveliest way, in the nicest possible way. Guys that totally excel, you know. Tiger Woods is the obvious example. Mike Tyson in his day when he was just a young kid, you know, taking everybody out. And now you've got Luke Littler. You know, he's taking on the world, and he's now in the world final to take on the world number one. You know, you can't dismiss Luke Humphries because, believe you me, Luke Humphries is going to be more than up for Luke Littler.
That's it. And Russ, the two of them played in 2019. A really sweet photograph has emerged on social media of Luke Littler when he was just 12. Although, to be fair, when he was 12, he looked 16. But he lost. And Luke Humphries said that he was scarily good. Now, since then, Luke Humphries has lost 4 stone. He treats this like an athletic pursuit. A lot of people, of course, take the mickey out of darts players for their physiques. But we have two very different styles tonight, don't we? We have Luke Littler, who likes kebabs, omelettes and pizzas, and we have Luke Humphries, the mean lean machine who lost 4 pounds a week, getting toned down. How do you think it's going to go, Russ?
I don't know what way it'll go. I certainly hope it's going to be a fantastic final. I mean, me personally, I don't mind who wins. It really doesn't matter to me in that respect.
Yeah.
You know, it's when you look at the two guys there, when you're on about physiques and that, you know, that can tell in a longer format. You know, if you're a bigger lad, you know, you may tire a little bit quicker. Luke Humphries has already been there. He was a big lad. And like you say, he's stringed down 4 stone. You know, he can go all the distance. But to be fair, with young Littler as he is, a 16-year-old lad, I thought that he may have trouble going the distance. He proved last night he's got no trouble with that. So at the end of the day, he's 16, you know, let him be 16, let him have his kebabs and all the rest of it. I'm sure he'll sort that out later on if that's what he wants to do. But as I say, you know, at the end of the day, both the lads are going to be up there, you know, hammering tongs at each other and all sorts of things. So it's going to be an absolutely magnificent spectacle.
And Russ, talking of which, it's the final swan song for you too, an emotional night, your final game in an illustrious career. How does that make you feel?
Well, it's the final one in the majors. I'll still be working behind the scenes for the next few years, but last one for the majors. So it's going to be emotional, very emotional in that sense. I've got some of my family coming down, some of my kids to come down, and my wife and that. It will be, but I've got a lot of things to look forward to as an ambassador with the PDC on the Asian tour and things like that. So,
all right, Russ, now I can't let you go without giving us a quick 180 and maybe a 40. Go on.
Well, you might need to turn the mics down because that's what generally happens. 180.
Do a 40, mate.
Brilliant. 40.
See, that's the one I like. 40. And what about when somebody hits a double and they get out? Go game.
Yes, it. Game, shot, and the match.
Russ Bray, you've been an absolute pleasure, mate. Have a great match tonight, an emotional night for you. Thank you so much. Fantastic stuff. I'm looking forward to that.